everyone. Welcome back to Witchy Wednesday. It has been a little bit. It has been a little bit. Um, I started back to school 2 weeks ago. Actually, it's been 3 weeks. We had a pre-planning week with no students, and then I've been back for 2 weeks now with the kids, and it's exhausting and it's very scary. And if you were with me for Tarot Tuesday yesterday, I'm not doing well with it. So I kind of had pushed off doing Tarot Tuesday and Witchy Wednesday with everybody just because I didn't have the energy. And one of the things that I want you to learn from me in as far as witchcraft goes is that you can't you can't create your own reality if your energy is being depleted. So I had to figure out, like, how do I get my happy back? How do I return to center? How do I ground myself again? And after being away, I realized it's you guys. You guys help me find my joy. Being with you and reading your cards and going over shadow work with you, like, that's a big deal to me, and it brings me joy. And it brings me joy to see our community in the chat talking and uplifting one another. That that brought me back. So thank you for always being here and always watching our lives. Say hello in chat as always, so that way I'll know you're here. Tonight we are going to do shadow work through the Emperor. Hey Zarabeth, how are you, beautiful? We are doing shadow work through the Emperor. Each week, the idea is to take one of the tarot cards and create a shadow work worksheet. And I just printed it out for the first time. I'm going to say this: I don't like the way it printed out, so it won't look like this when you see it again. But this is our shadow work worksheet. Um, it is available if you go to the description and you click on my link tree. There is a link inside my link tree that says Shadow Work Through the Tarot. And not only does it have this worksheet, but it also provides the previous worksheets. So that way you can download those and work through some of the shadows that we have already worked through. Tonight, though, is the Emperor. And the Emperor is all about organization. Emperor is about control. So as I was contemplating, how do we work this into our shadows? How do I ask myself things that the Emperor would ask? I really started honing in on a message about control, and not control like somebody else has controlled us, but we control things. One of the most insulting things that anybody could have ever said to me, and still kind of can say to me, is if they call me a control freak. That bothers me. It bothers me a lot when somebody calls me a control freak, right? Because that kind of, to me, implies that I'm narcissist and I only care about me. So why is it that I still need to control so much so that somebody calls me that, right? Hey, Amanda, how are you? I have the entire family tonight. What? Hi, family. Hi. Oh my goodness. We're trying to find a way home. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, that's awful. Oh my gosh. Please be safe. Please be safe. All right. Um and if I can do anything, let me know. If I need to pull up my phone and Google Map for you, I will. We'll do this live, okay? Hey, Allie. Oh my gosh, it's been forever. How are you, my darling? Aisha says hi. Hi. Is it Aisha or Asha? And not like I'm going to be able to hear you pronounce it. I know that was a dumb question, right? All right. So the Emperor tonight is all about controlling. It's about It's about finding why we must have control. Why are we specific about some of the things that we control? All right. So, the first thing that I want to talk about that's on this worksheet is there is always one thing in our lives that we must be in charge of. We have to be in charge of these things, right? When my children were younger, I had to be the parent that dealt with everything. Like, if it was discipline, I had to deal with it. If it was school, I had to deal with it. Not that I didn't have help, like, not that my husband didn't want to help, but it had to be me. I had to deal with that. So, what's the one thing that you're like, I have to do and I can't trust anybody else? Think about that one thing and hold it in your head real quick. Uh, Amanda, they're looking for Florida man. Oh, you can take all the Florida men you want. Oh, Lord, help me. They, can I move out of Florida? Allie, I'm finally getting better. Yay! I'm glad. I've been working on myself. You know what? I think this year, well, I think 2020 and 2021, particularly 2020. 2020 was accurate as far as the year because hindsight is always 2020. And I think that 2020 brought to us an awareness for a lot of people. There was an awareness of things that we weren't happy with in our lives. There were things that we recognized in ourselves that not necessarily were complete faults, but were things that we wanted to work on. And that pause in the busy life when everything just stopped, that pause allowed us to see those things. Because we saw those things, now we're aware of stuff that we weren't aware of before. And that kind of was a catalyst for everybody to kind of wake up and say, I want more. I want different. I don't want this anymore. I want happy, right? All the work that I've done, Allie, has made me realize that my mental health is priority. And I can't give out of an empty cup. So I have, become very aware of how my job is draining my cup and I don't have to give for others. How do I fix that? So 2020, I think, brought a lot of eye-opening things to people, and I am wanting to continue with my work and make sure that I make hindsight understandable, right? So what's that one thing? What's that one task? I said mine was mothering the kids. For you guys, it's something totally different, right? For work, my one thing for work is I have to control my lesson plans. I have to. So in both areas, there is a control over, and this does sound bad when I say it. And sometimes when we do shadow work, the way we initially say things will come out like, whoa, that sounds really bad. But like my control is over a child. I have to be able to make the decisions for a child. And so I was like, why am I that way? I was that way with my own children. I am that way with my students. I have to make the decision. And why do I have to have that control, right? Allie, you can't fill an ocean with a single cup. You can't. You absolutely can't. Amanda, you've been having a really hard time understanding that my health needs. Yes, yes, right? Like, I find this especially true for parents. We often put ourselves aside and like there's aches and pains that need to be addressed, but we don't address them because other things take priority, And then by the time that we can take the priority of ourselves, our children have gotten older and can take care of themselves, then it's like our parents become the priority and then we don't still take care of ourselves. So, yeah, it's super important to remember that you've got to take care of you first. That one thing that I wanted to control, the parenting and what's going on in my thing, if someone else took that task from you, okay? The one thing that you have to do. If someone took that task from you and you could not explain how to do it, you just zip, you got to walk away from it, right? You cannot give any hints on how to get that task done. Would that cause you to panic? Yes or no? Yes or no? If you walked away, like, for instance, I get into a habit. I am in a habit. When I go to work at the end of the day, I make and put my lesson plans on my desk. Why? I know what I'm going to do tomorrow. But if I get sick and I can't come in, they don't know what I wanted to do. Right? And I don't want to leave it to chance. I want to be able to say what's going on. So every afternoon, I take time to put my lesson plans on my desk. So it's really easy for a sub to find. Pretty weird, right? um, just learning now to allow Jared to have some say in taking care. See, it's one of those things that as parents, as caregivers, we are always we're wanting to control that situation, right? Why do we control that? Um, Allie, yes, it absolutely would cause me to panic. Yes. So you are all, yes, this is going to cause you to panic. If you had to take and give that task away, you would panic. Why? Why are we panicking over this? What is it about the task? What is it about others that we don't trust? Because that's what it boils down to. Like certain tasks, like caregiving of a child, yes, there's certain nuances. Like if you know the child, it's easier, blah, 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 blah. But most people can tell you when a kid is hungry, right? So the basics are all the same, and we don't trust people to even cover the basics, right? We don't trust people that you'll even understand the basics. Somewhere, some way, somebody told you that this was your responsibility. Okay? This was your responsibility. And if you didn't do this thing right, then you get in trouble. Reason why I leave my lesson plans is because I don't want to get in trouble by my boss. Now, what are they going to do? They'll probably get upset with me and just, have words with me. Will they fire me over that? No, as long as it doesn't happen consistently. If I miss up once, no big deal. But I'm so panicked about it that I make sure it's always in. I have been in the hospital typing up on my phone lesson plans to send in. I've been in the hospital, y'all, typing up lesson plans. Am I really that scared of my boss? No, I'm scared of the disappointment. Somewhere, someone had given me a task and told me that was my task. And when I didn't complete that task, they were disappointed in a way that caused me trauma. Where was that task for you? And who was disappointed in you? Now, when I say trauma, sometimes we all always assume that trauma is like this big thing. And it's not always these big moments. Sometimes there are small words that get said that kind of just burrow their way in. And when they burrow their way in, they hurt. So, what was yours? What was the task you were given that you could not complete? Who was disappointed in you? And why did that hurt so much? Who was that person to you? What'd they look like? What'd they sound like? Who were they to you? Right? That's where this is coming in. If someone told you that the task that you're doing they came in and they told you that that task was done incorrectly, how would you react? How would you react? Why would you react that way? If somebody came in and told me I was a bad mom, I'd fight them. No, I wouldn't really fight them. I would be mad. How dare you say that I'm a bad mom? I'm a great mom. My kids, they know what's up, right? My kids have opinions. There are parents that don't allow their children to talk back the way I allowed mine to talk back. Now, I allowed them to talk back in a certain way, right? Because it was important for me to teach my kids opinions. So if somebody came in and said, "You're a bad mom," that would hurt my feelings, right? Let's see. Oof, the disappointment. Yes. I think that's how I feel about taking care. Yes, Amanda. Yes. Zarabeth. Disappointment in myself mainly. I'd have to do a lot of sitting and thinking on this one. This one's hard. I think, a lot of times we do shadow work and we would rather, and this is going to sound really harsh, okay? And I don't mean it to come out this way, but it's just an ugly truth, okay? It's an ugly truth that I've had to tell myself, right? When we do shadow work, we blame others for who we are. In the beginning, we're always saying, well, my mom did this, my dad did that, and that's appropriate. Yes. They did things that had you react a certain way. But once you figure this out, then you've got to take that shadow just a little bit further and stop playing the victim. You've got to do the work. And you've got to realize, like, okay, so for me, my dad was awful, awful, still awful, right? And he caused a lot of my insecurities, almost all of my insecurities, okay? He caused me to get into some relationships that I shouldn't have been in because I was looking for approval. I'm a grown woman now, and I can go, yes, but those were still my decisions. Those were still my decisions. And now that I've recognized the reason why I made those decisions, I can now heal and actually change my thought pattern now. I can go, I'm no longer all those disappointments and insecurities. And so this is why we work on the shadow. And the Emperor, as a tarot card in shadow, helps organize those thoughts. It helps give you that ugly truth and choose to organize the healing. Okay. So what else you guys have to say? Allie, I know I do this as well. Like when I get really sad, I shut down. I will want to go to bed and I don't want to talk to anybody. And I need to be talked to at that point, though. I really do need to be talked to at that point because what I'm doing inside my head is a horrible, horrible thing, So, Zarabeth, it's easier to point the finger. It really is. But I have made really crappy choices in my life. And I guess, and we don't like to take the blame for crappy choices. No, I was forced into that choice. Well, yes, all of life is crappy choice A, crappy choice B. To be honest, I'm not going to say never. There's rarely a time where it's like, here's a really great choice and here's another really great choice. It's always, here's a crappy choice, here's another crappy choice. Choose which crappy choice is the less crappiest to you. Right? And so oftentimes that decision is based on our previous experiences. And we choose comfort more so than anything. We choose comfort. So sometimes we made our bad choices because we were seeking comfort. We were seeking a way to not have to confront the ugly truth, right? And that's not always. And sometimes I talk and I want to make sure you guys know that I'm not talking about always. But there's a lot of times where we seek the comfort. We don't want to hurt. Nobody wants to hurt, right? But sometimes the choice that we need to make is the choice that is going to hurt a bit, but we'll grow from it and we'll be better, right? For instance, I had to, as much as I hated it, my son used to want to go for a walk around our neighborhood. We do not live in a great neighborhood, okay? But my son was 16 and he wanted to go running. And it was for his own health. He wanted to run. And I had the choice of keep him home and he wouldn't develop a good healthy exercise pattern, and that's important for kids. Or I could let him run and possibly bad things happen to him, but he'd learn from them. Neither one was a great choice. Neither one's a great choice. I went with a really uncomfortable choice because as he was growing into a man, he needed to be able to rely on himself. And if I kept him home all the time, he wasn't going to learn those things. So as much as it sucked to watch him walk out that door and knowing he's got his headphones in and we live on a busy street and oh my God, is he going to hear a car coming? Like those things would go rampant through my mind. I had to let him go. I had to let him do. Wasn't a great choice, right? But I had to let him go. Zerubbabel, lesser of the evils. That's right. Comfort gets uncomfortable after a while. Allie, that is a big phrase. Big phrase. Comfort gets uncomfortable after a while. Yes, because we sit there and we know the things that we need to be doing to grow. I mean, we do. We know the things that we need to do in order to grow. We sit there and we think about those things. And as we sit there and think about those things, then that becomes the building of anxiety. And we start building up these walls and we start developing ways to distract ourselves from those things. And then the distractions end up being more harmful than good. So you're right. Comfortable gets to be uncomfortable after a while. It's a big phrase. Hey, Danielle, no worries. No worries. You can always, this is recorded. You can always go back. You can always go back. Zarabeth, that's me too. I am a big avoider, and that's something that I'm trying to learn through the Emperor as well, is that instead of avoiding the decision, the Emperor is going to make the decision. The Emperor is going to organize a plan, reflect on what's going to happen, make the decision, right? I need to do that more often. I need to make the decision and just get it done. You know, there's been some things I've been him-hawing around about, and I've been giving myself all these excuses. No, I didn't give myself an excuse when I wanted to put myself through college. I made the decision and I got it done. Now I have another goal. And I've been him-hawing around about it. Why? Because I'm scared. I'm scared to change. And that's not cool. So I'm going to make the decision and I'm going to start getting stuff done. Because that's what an emperor would do. Emperor would make the decision. I've got to stop avoiding things. Danielle, I'm glad that you like being here. I'm glad that I'm really happy that the community that we have built, you guys love each other and you get along, and this is a happy place for you. Even though we do some tough work with our shadow work, we do some tough work. We have some tough conversations. I believe that, you know, we're doing good things in this little community of ours. You guys are doing the things that you want to bring you joy. And I'm glad that I can bring you a little bit of joy each week. Because Lord knows this world is crazy right now. Distractions are huge for you, Allie. Yes. Amanda, maybe that's why I've been in this hyperspace for the past few months. Probably. It is this a lot of times when we know that we have uncomfortable growth coming, we will completely constantly distract ourselves with something new and shiny. Here, look, um, I've noticed that when I get comfortable in my craft, I will start looking at new things instead of just learning more of my uncomfortable truths with my craft. It's human. It's human nature. It's what we do. All right. All right. Here's a big question that's on this worksheet. That task that you have to do, you don't have it in your life. It's not there. I'm not a mom. I'm not a teacher. Who are you without that task? If you don't have that task in your life, who are you? That's a big one for me. I don't know. I don't know who I would be without being a mom or a teacher. One, I've been a mom for almost 25 years now. So that's a long time. That's more than half my life. So I've been a mom for a long time. I've been a teacher since 2006. What would I be without being a teacher? Who would I be? More so, not just who would I be, but am I valued? Do I value myself? Do I think I would be proud of who I am without those things? So if you took your task away, who are you? And how do you find value in who you are? Because if I take the task away of being a mom and a teacher, the values I have in me are gone. There are certain values that I have because I'm a mom and teacher. There's certain things that I'm proud of myself because of those things. So take away the task. What are my values? What am I proud of myself for? I'm compassionate. And without being a mom and teacher, I believe I'd be compassionate. I value my intellect, the ability to process information and to be able to give that information back. But that plays into me being a teacher again. So I value my ability to process information. What else about me do I value? What do you value about yourself if you took all those things away that were attached to that task? Right? You'd be lost, Zarabeth. Yeah. I'd be the crazy nutty auntie. I think that's where I'd be as well. You'd be empty. You'd feel empty. So this is the thing. Before I became a witch, I did a little bit of studying of Buddhism, and one of the values that I found very intriguing was that middle ground, this middle path, that you're not your body and you're not your soul. You're this middle, right? Like that lost feeling is because we have an attachment to that task. In order to find happiness, you take away the attachment. Okay? So if I took away the attachment to that task, would I find value? How would I find value? I want you to imagine your life without that task. Okay? It's not there anymore. It's gone. Poof. Disappeared. I can't be a mom. I can't be a teacher. What does your life look like? Imagine yourself without that task. What would my life look like? If I wasn't a mom, if I wasn't a teacher, I'd be an artist. If I didn't have to worry about taking care of children, I probably would have become an artist or an activist. I probably would have become an activist. I would have been one of those people that would have chained myself to trees. Most definitely. The little ones in the rubber boat trying to get between the whaling ship and the whales, that would have been me. Right? What would you be? Give yourself permission to think about a life that you'll never have. We will never have those lives. We already have ours, right? But give yourself permission to think about a life that you don't have. What are those values? Can you bring those values in? Can you go ahead and love yourself for things that you don't do? Right? I love the fact that I care about people and animals in this planet. And even if I wasn't a mom, even if I wasn't a teacher, that would be in my core. Okay? And the fact that I am so compassionate makes me happy with me. Yes, I'm tenderhearted. Oh my God, I'm tenderhearted. People make me cry all the time. I cry over happy stuff, I cry over sad stuff, I cry when I'm angry. I cry. But it's okay. I like that part of me. That's a good part of me. It means that I'm attached to people. I'm attached to the world around me. I'm connected. I feel it. And feeling is good. Sometimes it hurts, but feeling is good. What is the thing that you'd value about yourself? See, what are you guys having to say? Oh my gosh, chat just was like all of a sudden over here. Allie, you're an artist. I feel like if you took it away, I would value my vulnerability. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes. Zarabeth, I'd be more of a kitchen witch. Oh my goodness. I can see this. You don't know how fulfilled you'd feel. That's a good one. All right. That's a valid thing. But here's a question for you, Zarabeth. And this is part of that shadow work we are always asking of that end. How do you know what fulfillment would be if you never had the opportunity to be a parent? Like, how do I know that I wouldn't be fulfilled? I wouldn't know what I'm missing, right? And if that was never my task, if it was never told to me you have to be a mom, because I was told from a very early age that you were going to have babies. You're a girl, you're going to have babies. That was expected of me. At 15, my mom told my boyfriend I had baby making hips. Right? Oh, I'm silly. So it was expected of me to have babies. What if it was never expected of you? What if that was not in your social understanding of you? How do you know that not having children wouldn't have fulfilled you? This is the weird part of shadow work. We are looking in a shadow. We're looking at something that never was, or at least when it was, it got pushed aside, right? Uh Feelings are so deep, it's painful. Yes. Yes. Danielle, you're a crier. I am definitely, like I said, I cry at everything. Um, Allie, I felt that so deeply, Mrs. M. We are the same. Yes, we are. I know this. Danielle, since you were young, I was only wanted to be a mom. Okay. It's scary to think about life without my babies. It's scary. So why is it scary? Why is it scary? Because it's a dream? What if you had a different dream? What are the values? And I ask this because sometimes dreams have to change. Like for me, education's bringing me down. I'm having issues with it. It's not what I wanted it to be when I started. It's not what it was when I was started. So now I have to legitimately think of my life not as a teacher. And I wanted to be a teacher since I was 4 years old. So what do I do now, right? How do I imagine my life and being fulfilled without that task? Right? When I realized that the emperor was coming up and I was doing my research and I realized that this was about and I was like, "Universe, why? Why must you make me see myself? Why are we talking about myself right now?" Because that's where I am. Allie, you said this is where you are in your life. I think this is perfect timing. I honestly believe these 2 weeks that I've had to take away was so that we would pump the gas and we would be here in this moment exactly as it needed to be. We're talking about fulfillment, talking about our lives differently if we didn't have these things. The thought terrifies your heart. Yes. Beth. Cindy, how are you? My alternate universe would alter most of yours. We would all be living better and having more influence on the world. Yes. Um, I would definitely, like I said, I'd probably be an activist. Exactly. It's so hard to really answer that. It is. It is very hard to answer that. But I do know that I've helped raise babies before I had my son. I loved cooking and taking care of babies. So it's very hard for us to think about stuff that never exists for us. And because we never have it in our brain to exist for us, we don't entertain it as an idea. And that's what this is about. It's about entertaining possibilities. What possibility have you never entertained? That this was never a possibility for you because of who you were, where you were, what station in life you have, right? Um, it is very scary, Zarabeth. I used to want to be a mom, then I became a nanny. Allie, that changed it, right? I tell all these teenage girls that are like, I want babies. I was like, you just need to have a baby for like a week. Just a newborn, and then another week you need a toddler. That's all you need. And then you won't want a baby anymore. um, I don't know who I'd be without them. Yeah. And I'm going to say this is what I find with a lot of moms. We don't know what we would be without our kids. And then when our kids leave, that's why it's so hard on us. Like the empty nest feels so empty because that's all we were. We were only moms. We weren't anything different. So I often tried to position myself early on. I realized that that was going to be me. Like I was going to lose myself in my children. And so I would try to find outside things so that way when they finally leave, I would be okay with me. Now, did that totally happen? I still have one living here. So ask me later. um says, oh goodness, you guys are just killing chat again. I gotta read. I was told that my small existence would not affect real change, and after years of activism, I had to be a single mom. It's fun to think about what could have been, right? Allie, you go on by finding other things you'd like. Yes. Sin, you are a force of nature. It's crazy to think what you could have been. I agree with this. Zara. Allie. Allie, that's cute. I don't think Zara Beth meant it that way. Um, Cindy, we learn to affect change locally instead. Maternal instincts are a powerful thing. Yes, yes, they are. Um, Sarah Beth, they're over easy. I'm done. I'm done. I am so done. We gotta put a little cheese on them, right? We are witches, right? I'm done. Okay, anyway. Y'all, if you're not live then and you're watching this over again, the comments are crazy and you're missing some fun. I would highly suggest next time getting here during the live and playing along because these ladies are crazy. Oh. Oh my, I'm done. I'm done. Allie, I couldn't attach myself to other people. That's why I've been single for a while now. You've been single for a while now because that's what you're supposed to do right now. That's what you're supposed to do right now. I wholeheartedly believe that when the person you are meant to be with, um, when they come into your life, it's an exact at the exact moment they're supposed to be. Derek came into my life exactly when he was meant to come into my life. And he came in exactly the way he needed to come in. He came in by complimenting my writing. I used to write a blog, and he was one of my readers, and he complimented my writing. He said that I wrote really well. Funny enough, I haven't really wrote much of anything since being with him. I don't have a need to always express myself through writing like I used to. The writing was a way to um, chase the demons away. And he came into my life right when he was supposed to. So you'll find the person, actually, no, the person will be placed into your life exactly when he's supposed to be. I believe that wholeheartedly. Women's rights were always a big thing. I'd probably be in politics or investigating journalism. Cindy, okay, this is off topic, totally off topic. Okay, I'm reading a book called Stamped from the Beginning by Ibram Kendi. All right, and it talks about how from the beginning Black people have been stereotyped and oppressed, right? And one particular chapter talks about women's rights. The reason why certain women got involved was because they felt offended that a Black man had more rights than a white woman. And that's why they started the women's rights. And I was just like appalled after that. I was like, it wasn't because you actually wanted to vote, it was because you felt offended? Like, what? Like, what? I'm still reading the book, y'all. Anyways, off topic. You don't want to get me started on that kind of stuff. Anyways, Cindy, hey, Becca, what's up? Zerbeth, see, I can attach to people easy in certain dynamics. Romantic relations are not one of them, but I think it's just not in the cards for me right now. Right now is that operative word. When it's ready, you will be. All right. Uh, I hope one day to get back to it, whatever it ends up evolving to be. Sin, if you got into politics, oh my God. Oh my God. You would be a force to reckon with. She would, Zerbeth. She'd actually get them. Zerbeth, like, okay, Karen, yay, women's rights, but what the the right? That's what I thought too. I was like, what in the actual wait, what? Wait, what? It's a good book. If you're interested in like the backstory of how this country came to be, um, and it's a story that's not told from a white man's perspective, brilliant book. Brilliant book. I spent the first like 2 chapters fact checking. I'd always look at the document that they were referencing, and I'd read the document myself, and they were interpreting the document correctly according to what I read. And so I was like, all right. So now I'm reading it, and it's crazy. It's crazy. So um just got home, Becca. Yay! From taking Patrick to his job to exchange his headset. Super and Duncan didn't have my. Oh no, no! I have to coffee. Derek got me coffee tonight, pumpkin spice coffee. Cause yes, I'm that basic witch. when pumpkin spice comes available. I want everything pumpkin spice. uh, yeah, Becca, you get a tattoo. We want to know. What's the tattoo? Allie, you've watched 12 Years a Slave and cried for 2 days. I have yet to watch that. I do need to watch that. I need campaign finance lawyers and donors on deck. All right. We got this. Cindy, 2024. We need lawyers. We need people to call, fundraising. We need all of that. All right. We've got this platform. Let's get it done. Patrick wanted pumpkin and they didn't have it. Patrick and I would get along, Becca. Patrick and I would get along. Sounds beautiful. I'm really excited for you. Oh, good. And Zarabeth, pumpkin everything, leg warmers, sweaters, colder weather. You know what I'm looking forward to colder weather for is like, I like a nice fire in the evening. I like to be able to sit outside and have a nice fire and just decompress. But where I live, it's just way too hot most of the year. And so we get 2 months of maybe enough. Like it's might be cold enough to do the fire. So we'll do it then. um let's see. Lavender rocks. Lavender rocks. Okay, I missed something and now I don't understand what lavender rocks is. I'll make phone calls for you. That's right. Danielle's got the phone calls. But also nervous. You're also nervous. I always get nervous before tattoos despite having like 5. You know what? I don't get nervous before a tattoo. I get really excited because I know I'm going to get some great sleep. Like the longer they work on me, the harder I will sleep. Like this thing right here took 4.5 hours. And I'm telling you what, I fell asleep. I was drooling. I fell asleep so hard. I don't know what it is about tattoos, but they make me relaxed. Pumpkin spice eggnog. I'm done, Allie. I'm done. I need to go get that right now. Thanks a lot, Allie. Becca, I'm not sure when you do that. I want to come do a fire and cool night. Absolutely. Some of you live close enough to me and know where I live. Do not say it ever in chat. I do not need other people knowing. See, Zarabeth, New England is awesome. I know. You in New England, I see these really cool like fall decor and they really go all out for Halloween. It sucks living in the Bible Belt for Halloween, man. Nobody decorates. And when you do decorate, you're Satan. So it's like, can somebody just put a pumpkin out on their doorstep for me, please? Oh, Becca, the tattoo I'm getting is lavender. Okay, that's what I thought. But the way Zarabeth said was lavender rocks, and I was like, purple rocks? Are you getting purple rocks? My brain. It's just me being my brain. Sorry. Danielle, you're gonna donate. All right. Okay. We're donating to the Get Sin Elected, right? I'm sorry. Cindy, I just said Sin, right? Because that's what I call you. I'll call you Sin. We gotta make some kind of slogan that just irritates people by using the word sin, right? Let sin in. Because people would lose their minds around here. And sometimes I'm petty, and I'm sorry for that. Yo, it's a flaw. Not really. It's just funny. I know. Well, I would say I need to decorate immediately, but that would have the assumption that I took my decorations down, and Those of you that have been in my house know it kind of looks like this all over the place. It looks like an oddity shop. I've got coffin bookcases. But my house always looks like Halloween. That's going to be your slogan, Cindy. Sin is in 2024. I got this. Fart around and find out. I'm done. I'm so done. Does that mean I can't vote? Use the Eldritch Horrors. Use them. I'm pretty sure that's what got used already, though. Let's just be honest. Dude, my buddy has a real coffin in his house. Oh my god, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. That's okay. Tats do the same thing for me. Okay, so you fall asleep as well. All right, we are all voting for sin. We're all voting for sin. I find that way too funny, and I shouldn't find it as funny as I do. Jared, I'm just gonna say, your soon-to-be wife is in on the vote. All right, just saying. Peer pressure. That's how it is. It was in New York. Oh, everybody decorated in New York, huh? Running on the atheist pro-choice, legalize it, love everyone. Science is real. That's your ballot right there. That's your ballot. Climate change. We're doing it. I'll be your the little person on the side talking about climate stuff, all right? Allie, I got a small tat and it hurts so much, but I want more. Alex just got another one. Oh my god. It's a ship and he wants to get a ribbon that says calm seas don't make great sailors. Okay. All right. Right, Cindy? Right? And people right now are not making me happy. Jared, we've got tattoo ideas over here for days, all right? I'm wanting to get a new one as well. My new one will be right here. It's going to have, because all of these have like backgrounds to them, as you can see. This one's going to have a spider web, and then right here in the middle of the spider web, I'm going to get Sam from Trick or Treat, because Sam is epic and I love him. Oh. All right. I'm with this, Sin. Amanda, no, you don't. So, Jared, what I'm hearing is that you must wait for your tattoo, and Amanda's going to get hers first, okay? That's how this is an appropriate thing, all right? It's appropriate. Yeah. That's right, Cindy. It's magical from what I've seen. I know my first is the dark mark. Jared, somebody asked me today in class, was it today or yesterday? It was probably yesterday because of the way I was dressed yesterday. I was dressed in all black yesterday. And girl asked me, she goes, Miss M, you like Harry Potter? Because they don't know. I'm never advertise that I'm a witch. I never not say that I'm a witch. Like when somebody says something and asks me point blank, I'll say yes. But it's never a like I'm going out and actively telling kids, hey, I'm a witch. I'm a witch. I'm a witch. Like I don't do that. That's inappropriate. So when she's like, do you like Harry Potter? I just kind of laughed. I was like, something like that. It's like, okay. Oh, so you said dark arts and it reminded me of Harry Potter. Sorry. It keeps freezing. No. No. Yeah, I can see my line is starting to kind of wane a bit. All right, guys. We're starting to get to the end, anyways. You know where this is. All right. This is in my link tree. You can go and download it for yourself. All right. That last question is a doozy. That last question is asking you to imagine your life without that task. You are not a mom. You're not a teacher. You're not a wife. You're not an artist. What are you? What are you without that task? All right. Give yourself permission to think about that. Because when you give yourself permission to think about that, then you're giving yourself permission to think of other opportunities in your life. You're allowing yourself to look at doors that you didn't know existed. So give yourself permission to think of yourself in a different life. All right? All right. All right, my lovelies. I'm going to log off now until next Tuesday. And then on next Tuesday, we'll be back for Tarot Tuesday. Because that brings me joy. You all bring me joy. Look at this. We're having so much fun in here. This is what I love about this. All right? Be happy. Be safe. Please be safe. All right? Wear your mask. If you can't been gotten vaccinated yet, get vaccinated. All right? Stay away from people. They're still really gross. People are still really gross. All right? My lovelies, and know that I love you and you are wonderful people. And even if you don't get that task done, you're valid and you will never disappoint me. All right? All right. Have a good night, my lovelies.